Yep, good to see him back.
He'll be in there today for the Pirates and for the Rockies. And Donnie Kelly going with the opener today with Mason Montgomery. Kind of a different lineup, as they know they'll have a lefty for a short time. So you see Jordan Beck atop the order, doesn't hit righties well. Brenton Doyle and then Hunter Goodman with Rumfield cleaning up. Willie Castro and then Moniak will slide to the 6th spot. And he's leading all of baseball in slugging percentage. 3 extra base hits last night. Johnston, one of the leading men in batting average. Tovar and Julian rounded out for the Rocks.
And once again, the Car Shield numbers for Mason Montgomery, making his 3rd start as an opener. Want to know, 2.87 ERA. Look at the punch-outs, 23 and 15 and 2/3 innings. I guess if we had one concern about him in spring training was the control, but just 8 walks, and he's tough to hit. Opponents hitting just 203.
And behind him this afternoon, the Levin Furniture and Mattress defense. Reynolds, Cruz, and O'Hearn in the outfield. Triolo gets the start at 3rd. Griffin and Lau in the middle. Horwitz over at 1st. And Andy Rodriguez. First big league game since June of last year. So Montgomery, a starting pitcher in the minor leagues, predominantly with Tampa Bay. Has appeared as the opener a couple of times for the Pirates already.
Interesting how he came into this ball game as a former starter. Didn't come to the dugout and sit and relax. He came jogging straight in from the bullpen to start this game.
Keeping to his routine now as a relief pitcher. And in front of Beck. We'll start the game off with a strikeout. 99 upstairs.
Interesting was taking the first 2 fastballs was Beck. And they were right there, top of the zone, but then he throws one well out of the zone, about neck high, and decides to offer it that one.
Montgomery, one of the best swing and miss lefties in the game. Now you brought up a great point. I mean, the Pirates really got a steal of a deal from Tampa Bay. You know, Brandon Lau's been fantastic. Jake Mangum, nearing health soon, again has contributed. And Montgomery, I mean, once he got to be in the strike zone, there aren't too many lefties that are better than him. One's on maybe his teammate, but there aren't too many more.
I know you get 3 big league players in exchange for one, and all contributing. You know, especially Montgomery and Lau. Jake Mangum, when coming off the injured list, does his thing.
And that was the trade that sent Mike Burrows a 3-team deal to Houston. There's Lau, 10 home runs already. Another strikeout for Montgomery, again upstairs with the heat.
I don't know if I've ever seen anybody miss a pitch, a fastball in particular, by as much as he just missed this fastball. I mean, he wasn't close. He looked like he swung about a foot underneath that ball.
Rockies per at bat strike out more than any other team. And Montgomery's one of the best strikeout pitchers around. So that's why the Pirates inserted him in there. And you say, well, the Rockies will counter with 3 right-handed batters atop their lineup. And that's the first hit by a right-handed batter against Montgomery in almost a month. They were 0 for their last 18 against him. The All-Star Goodman from a year ago.
Yeah, the curveball really is the only pitch that the opposition hits against Montgomery. Overall 400 average. Righties have hit 500 coming in against his curveball.
So the first lefty that he'll face is Rumfield. And lefties haven't fared all that well against him either. They don't have an extra base hit this year. Off Montgomery.
And the only pitch they've managed to hit has been his fastball. But only a 250 average against him, lefties, but they have not gotten a hit against the curveball or the slider so far this year.
Late on that fastball. And just exploding out of Montgomery's hand. It's going to be 3 strikeouts in the inning, 12 straight scoreless innings now for Mason Montgomery. Kids in baseball, nothing better unless you got some cotton candy. That's even better. I know Neil Cruz will lead things off for the Pirates here this afternoon. A gray day here in Pittsburgh, but hopefully the Pirates will light things up with Lau following Cruz, Reynolds, and then Ryan O'Hearn. Griffin in the 5 spot today since his birthday, one of the leading hitters in the league. Horwitz also really red hot. Ozuna slides down to 7. Andy Rodriguez back in there, and Jared Triolo for the Bucks.
The young run right-hander Chase Dolander making just his 3rd start. He's been used kind of like what we're seeing with Carmen Majinski today. Been an opener for him a bunch. He's been the bulk reliever, but big arm, 3.2 record, 335 earned run average, more than a punch out per inning. Opponent's hitting just 218. Upper 90s fastball. Former 1st-round pick with a good arm.
First pitch in the air to Beck. He thought the center fielder was going to go for it, and Cruz in at second.
Huh. We've seen this before. Just a sky-high pop-up, as routine as it gets, and I just don't understand what happened there. I mean, he's pretty much camped under it, barely has to move.
There's no sun, and he's not looking in the lights, right?
No, there's no excuse for that one. And it's not like it was there wasn't traffic. It was his.
And the Pirates will get a gift.
He's even calling for it. And the center fielder wasn't. The center fielder pulled up.
A gift double for Cruz. Maybe helping him out after that smash he hit the 3rd last night. Baseball evens itself out. So Doyle, who won the Gold Glove in 23 and in 24 in center.
Yeah, he has nothing to do with it.
Yeah.
He pulled off, and I'm sure he heard his teammate call for it. It blows me away that that's ruled a double.
Well, the Pirates, I was just thinking about how they're facing the Rockies pitching staff, 2nd highest ERA in baseball. They've scored 7 runs in the first 2 games. The Pirates have the best OPS of any National League team in their home ballpark. Maybe today's the day that the bats get going. That should advance Cruz. And so Lau does his job and almost hit one out of here on a day where the wind's blowing out.
Yeah, that ball's carrying, but no question. And that might have been what messed up Jordan Beck in left field. Maybe he didn't anticipate that ball carrying as far as it did, and then he just gave up on it. But yeah, that looked like a routine pop-up.
Now Beck and Doyle, and now Johnston in right field. Willie Castro at 3rd. Tovar and Julian up the middle. There'll be Rumfield at 1st. Hunter Goodman doing the catching for Colorado. We're going to play the infield up here with 1 out. Reynolds hits it right over that infield. RBI. Pirates up 1-0. That's some solid hitting from Brian Reynolds.
Yeah, up there ready to hit. Backdoor breaking ball. We talk about it a lot. When you throw a breaking ball that's up and out over the plate, such a good pitch to hit. I love that he's aggressive on that pitch, and pitch that he could just drive the other way. Makes it look easy.
So the Pirates are leading all of baseball in opposite field hits. They have 2 this inning already. And a first inning run for whatever consortium of pitchers they used today. O'Hearn homered yesterday. Boy, that one is hit very well. And O'Hearn sends one out of here. 2-run shot. Already the Pirates up 3-0.
Again, showing off that good power with that short swing. Wasting no time here early against the young right-hander. There's the fastball, center cut, 4-seamer. Look at how short and compact that swing is.
Seventh home run for O'Hearn.
Yeah, normally you think of a cool, cloudy day. Ball's not normally traveling, but early on we're seeing that it's traveling.
Griffin with a base hit. 413 the distance on the O'Hearn home run.
Got the keys to the game from Buick. No mo money. We saw yesterday Mickey Moniak with a big day. We don't want to see any more of that. He's down in the lineup and cash in against the young righty Chase Dollander. And so far cashing in a big way for the 5 first batters with hits, 3 quick runs. Moniak still waiting to hit as he's moved down the lineup because of the opener, Mason Montgomery. Everybody's all right down there. That ball got in, like into the camera well.
And thanks for our keys, Rock. Those are brought to you by our Western PA Buick dealers. So Griffin with another hit off upper 90s. Remember trouble with the fastball in spring training? He's 5 for 12 against 97 plus with a home run.
And that pitch looked to be middle in, and that was the, I guess maybe for me, the concern as Evan Sisk gets ready in the bullpen. Yeah, coming out of spring training, you know, there was a little length in that swing, and it was having a hard time at even getting swings off on velocity on the inner half. But saw it on that last road trip, turning around some fastballs, and against the hard thrower Dollander, getting the head out.
Can always steal too. 9 swipes. It's not been thrown out. Full on Horwitz.
When we watch so many different types of pitching, and we see, you know, velocity on a nightly basis, and we talk sometimes about the difference in velocities, why certain guys get hit better than others.
And wind playing some tricks.
Yeah, a little backspin, little wind. Castro able to stay with it, but certain guys 94 play better than other guys 99. Yeah, right away as we're watching Dollander here, his 98 it looks hittable. As you see Castro staying with it, according to second out. And then you'll see a guy throwing 92 and nobody can hit it, or even get, you know, barrel or swings and misses. sometimes as a hitter, you say, boy, he throws a nice ball. You see it early, not a lot of movement. You get good swings at it, even if you're throwing in the upper 90s. But coming in, much of the league hasn't had much success against his four-seam fastball, hitting just 179 with a 313 slug. But the Pirates are seeing it well.
Another hitter's count too. 3-0, and a delayed challenge asked for by Goodman. It'll be granted by Paul Clemens.
Catcher's challenge.
Yeah, that's a wasted challenge this early in the ball game.
Yeah, and probably shouldn't have been granted anyway.
That's the one.
ABS powered by T-Mobile.
Colorado has one challenge remaining.
That's early in the game, especially for a catcher who has the best view. That's a bad challenge.
Inch and a half. We're finding if it's more than an inch, it's rare when the challenge is wrong by that much. Maybe 2 or 3 times I've noticed so far. That's it. And situationally, yeah, that's the big thing. Gets him to pop it up. And the Pirates get 3 in the first. Some big hitting in the first inning here from PNC Park. Ryan O'Hearn with the long ball, capping the Pirates' 3-run first inning. And this Pirates pitching change brought to you by Valvoline Instant Oil Change service. You can see, experts you can trust.
Evan Sisk going to come in relief here in the second inning to face these lefties.
So the Pirates started with a left-handed pitcher. Rockies presuming that Majinski would follow, but instead they'll bring another lefty pitcher in to try to negate their best 2 left-handed hitters who to follow.
Yeah, interesting. Don Kelly going with the opener to kind of, get their top lefties, Moniak and Johnston, to face a lefty early. But Warren Schaefer says, well, you want to do that, we'll just drop them down the lineup. So Donnie again with a counter move. We'll use 2 of our lefties out of the pen to start this one.
The other would be Gregory Soto, who has been pitching usually in a safe situation lately. We'll see how that takes the rest of the game. And if it is Majinski, who was originally slated to start for today, that last time he had an opener for him, he went 6 innings. I mean, if you could script a game, and that's impossible, but if you could script a game and he goes 6 innings after this, then there's the 9th left for Soto if you want to.
If it works out that way.
Yeah.
And Sisk pitched last night, went 1 1/3 scoreless. A couple of punch outs. And you hope he could be pretty efficient too, as now Carmen going through his pregame routine, getting ready to come in. Most likely, if all goes well, top of the 3rd.
Another Pirates strikeout. So Sisk gets the leadoff man. He gets to face Mickey Moniak here. It's time for our Penn West University stat of the day. Last night on his 28th birthday for Moniak, 3 extra base hits. And he's only the 3rd Pirate opponent with 3 extra base hits on his birthday. The last was last year, the shortstop Ezekiel Tovar. I thought that would be pretty unusual. Looking that up today. No, Tovar did it at Coors last year. And the only other player to do it did it not in Denver, not in Pittsburgh, but in Brooklyn. It was the Hall of Famer Duke Snider in 1950. So Tovar in the hole. Johnston, a lefty batter, waiting next.
Going with Sisk here, and we've seen openers before. So far it's working out as Montgomery strikes out 3 of the 4 he faces. Sisk easy with his first 2. The concern is winning today's game. Winning this series by winning today's game. With Cisco and a 1 1/3 last night, and then pitching again tonight. Normally pitchers don't throw 3 days in a row, so not worried about the Phillies and their lefties, because you wouldn't expect Cis to go 3 days in a row, but they're worried about winning this one here today.
And you think about Marsh, who's leading the league in batting average, Schwarber, who's leading the league in home runs, to elite lefty batters. Yeah, they're going to have their work cut out for them in that Phillies series. Boy, so much of baseball is balancing today with tomorrow, and the starting pitcher's next start, and all sorts of things. I mean, because you don't have those built-in off days like the other sports.
Nope. Well, the concern always should be today's game. You can't predict the future. You don't know what's going to happen past today. So everybody's mentality should be winning today's game.
You got to call somebody up or whatever. Okay, fine. Johnston does not have an extra base hit against the lefty this year, and his predecessor Moniak now hitting 160 against lefties. So and these two guys right here. Johnston's 5th in baseball in batting average. Those are the guys you want to try to negate if you can with lefty pitching. Getting the call there. Very close. Our Levin Furniture and Mattress Strike Zone. I'll have it for you all afternoon. Montgomery struck out 3 in a scoreless first inning. Sisk trying to retire the side in order in the second. And Griffin gets it in the air. 1, 2, 3. Go the Rockies.
Andy Rodriguez is excited to be here with this opportunity with the Pittsburgh Pirates. He's excited to be around this team's energy as well, saying that energy is the greatest thing to happen this year. Andy also said that this is his first call-up this year, but he's hoping it'll be his last. In other words, he wants to make this opportunity stick, but in order to do that, he knows he needs to stay healthy. That's obviously been something that's plagued him the last 2 seasons, battling those injuries, but he said he's just trying to control what he can and put his body in a good position to succeed. Joe.
Wishing him the best of health. Those 2 elbow surgeries last year, you think about for a catcher, so important. And he laces the first ball he puts in play of the big league season. Going to try for 2. Andy Rodriguez with a double off the wall in right. What a start for Andy.
Love to see it. I mean, you're talking about a top prospect that has obviously been sidelined for a very, very long time. He gets a slider that's just running right into the barrel of the bat. Easy double.
He's 25 years old. He'll turn 26 later this month, but Rodriguez is a 2-time MVP in the minor leagues. Yep. Forget about how heralded he was. Remember, folks were clamoring, hey, bring him up for the minor leagues before he'd ever gotten called up. And they liked his bat so much that last year he was the opening day first baseman, just to get him in there. So a switch hitter. And back-to-back innings with a man at second to start the inning for the Pirates. They cashed in Cruz. That was one of your tips, right? Cash it in.
Yep. Early in the game last night, we showed you in the pregame some of the good fundamentals, aggressive plays, some good defense. But there were some opportunities lost where they could have really widened the margin early on if they could have cashed in on some of the opportunities. Well, they're cashing in on this fastball from Dolander. And you want them to cash in again, take advantage of these opportunities. Lead off double, get them over, get them in.
Hitters count. accept the walk. Two-seamer running in. First walk by Dollander. Now it's Cruz. We're talking about Cruz being able to hit that fastball. Now they're going to check on Dollander here. You mentioned the prized prospect. When he came up, he was a 9th overall pick back in 23.
Sometimes trainers always got their eyes on the pitcher out there, and sometimes they see something, and don't see it much there.
Maybe he's been dealing with something, or he shook his hand
shook
after.
His hand a little bit.
And sometimes maybe they're getting treatment for something, and they see it pop back up again, or. 24-year-old. You have to pitch a full big league season. Looks like he's trying to talk the athletic trainer into saying he's in good health, trying to prove it.
Usually see these guys, you know, they might throw 1 or 2. I don't know if they're waiting to see him throw a couple more here, but they're not convinced. Look on his face is that he's done.
And so both starting pitchers will go an inning today. The Pirates by design, the Rockies very much not. And we hope that Chase Dollander is okay in the long term. He's coming out of this game with injury here in the 2nd inning. Well, Warren Schaefer didn't plan for this, as his starting pitcher comes out after facing 2 hitters in the 2nd inning. An apparent injury for Chase Dollander, so Brennan Bernardino, the lefty, will come in.
I got to imagine this is every pitcher's fear is the elbow, and I mean we didn't see anything from there. Not until there, he shakes his hand almost like he felt something in that right arm, and I think any pitcher is going to tell you that. You know, they might not admit it, but it's got to be in the back of their mind. It's almost like the exception nowadays, not having Tommy John surgery. And hopefully it's not that. You don't wish that on anybody, but it seems like it's inevitable for most.
Yeah, Dollander was on the IL with a forearm injury last year at some point. Let's check in with Hannah on more with Warren Schaefer.
Yeah, Joe, you just mentioned that Pittsburgh native. Schaefer grew up in Vandergrift, PA, attended GCC, Greensburg Central Catholic, and on the off day, he actually got to go home to Vandergrift to spend some time with the family. He does live here in the off season, so he's back in the city frequently, but coming home during season, driving through that tunnel, seeing the city again, coming home was so nice. He said Vandergrift, the people there, they're not used to seeing that many cameras around, so it was fun to get to have that entire experience and show off all of his favorite places back home. He said he's so thankful to be from here, specifically from Vandergrift. There's a ton of pride from the people in his life and people he grew up with, and that's what he thinks about. Also, Joe, I heard apparently his mom makes some killer chocolate chip cookies. So I told him if they accidentally made their way somehow to enemy territory, I'd be very, very nice to her. So I don't know if they made their way up to you guys, but we've got to find out where these chocolate chip cookies are.
I mean, this can't be enemy territory. I mean, we're
just while he's
Pittsburghers.
here. Just while he's here.
Yeah,
you know?
I know, but still, I mean, let's go.
Chocolate chip cookies bring people together.
Mrs. Schaefer, let's go with the cookies.
Should we make her a VIP at PNC Park? He doesn't have to be here. We can welcome her.
She
We
could
can welcome her in.
Sit right next to us. A big batch of cookies.
Warm us up.
It is pretty ironic too, though, guys, if you look at both dugouts having a manager from the Pittsburgh area, and Don Kelly and Warren Schaefer also took over as manager last year for their respective teams about the same time, just about 4 days apart. Warren had no idea about his anniversary of this either, but he said he's just continuing to learn in this position, learn communication, bullpen usage, platoon matchups, all those things to try to put his players in the best position as possible to succeed. So seem very similar in mindset to Don Kelly as well. It makes sense. Both Pittsburghers both have that similar feel to the game.
Now you think of Terry Francona as well, so sometimes get a matchup of Western PA managers these days. That's neat. And the Pirates are taking on the Rockies this afternoon. Tomorrow begins a 3-game series with the Phillies as they come to town. And the Commonwealth Classic begins tomorrow night. And we invite you to come on out. Get your tickets at pirates.com. It'll be a Friday night and then Saturday afternoon, Sunday afternoon as well. And Braxton Ashcraft, Bubba Chandler, and then Paul Skeens going on Sunday. And we'll have all the coverage for you right here on Sportsnet Pittsburgh. You see Aaron Nolan not quite the same last year, and again this year having some troubles, but the other two have been really, really sharp.
Looking forward to that. Always love a Phillies weekend as Brennan Bernardino is going to come in relief, making his 20th appearance. 13 punch outs in 16 innings, a 338 earned run average.
And when he was warming last night, it was a 7-4 game. They were going to bring him in for his first save try, and now he's going to be brought in the second inning. And thanks to Mason McPhee with Sport Radar, our statistician today. So Montgomery goes an inning. That was planned. Dolander goes an inning. That was not planned. The last time the Pirates have been in a game where both starters went just an inning or less was, of course, at Coors Field. That was back in 2003. Brian Meadows and Jason Jennings for the Rockies. Bernardino, the only lefty in the bullpen for Colorado. And Cruz, who hits lefties very well. Fly out to the track.
Oh, go ahead, Tree. Get there.
Oh, boy.
That's heads up. That's a heads up play. First of all, O'Neal Cruz just missed that. That broke just to the end of his bat. And if he would have waited back just another hair, that might have ended up in the seats. But and Trees, he's tagging up here, looking to see the reaction from the right fielder. If there's any kind of hesitation, he's going to go. He could always put on the brakes if the right fielder Johnston got rid of it quickly, but he thought, well, he took too much time. I could get to second base, so that's heads up base running.
Terrific baseball competence for Jared Triolo, and a productive out for Cruz. That brings the Rockies infield in. Shallow left. Not going to be deep enough. Even with that wind pushing the ball and making it tough for Tovar. Still can't risk it.
Yeah, I mean, he was back there tagging, and the way he was kind of spinning away as he caught that, as that ball continued to carry. We've seen infielders fall down, you know, with pop-ups like that. And if he falls down, I think Endy could have kept on going.
Reynolds drove in a run his first time around. Base hit here by plate pair. Castro is playing back, but gets the final out. So Bernardino comes in and strands the two inherited runners. Three 0 the Pirates lead it as we start the third inning. And this Pirates pitching change presented by Valvoline Instant Oil Change. Service you can see, experts you can trust.
Carmen making his 9th appearance, ERA at 4.5. Right there at the strikeout per inning. Only 2 home runs allowed. They came recently. He's had that long streak of not allowing a long ball. Opponent's hitting .283. Most of that damage left-handed hitters.
And that's why the Pirates employing 2 different left-handed relief pitchers to start the game ahead of Majinski. pitch. One out. Montgomery pitched a scoreless first inning, and then a 1-2-3 second for Evan Sisk. Mlodzinski has handled righties so very well. No home runs, very few extra base hits. Lefties, though, slugging .500.
Yeah, you got a quick out, one pitch, one out. You want to go right back in there, get ahead of the next batter.
So they're already done for the day.
Got to be a different feel for those guys. Very early on in this ball game, they go kick back, hang out in the dugout the rest of the way.
And normally they'd be out there waiting for the call. So we'll see how it goes. The last time that Mlodzinski had an opener, he went 6 scoreless against Washington. If he goes 6 today, that gets him to the 9th inning.
One pitch was a split that missed quite a ways off that outside corner. Comes back 2-1 and throws a dandy.
Try the splitter again. Mlodzinski linking up with Endy Rodriguez today. He's caught him before, and with some success. When Carmen pitches to Endy, Mlodzinski's ERA is 1.93. That's in a little more than 18 innings. So as it works out today, Davis caught the first 2 games of the series. Endy with the day game after the night game. Did he offer? Yes. Paul Clemens says a strikeout. So the Rockies struck out 5 times the first time through the order.
Man, that's a hard pitch to chase. I mean, this is a ball as soon as it leaves his hand, up and away. You don't see many chases. See it up middle, sometimes up in, but you rarely see a chase on a fastball up and away.
Now Jordan Beck. Put him in the leadoff spot today, trying to circumvent the opener. But Beck is just 2 for 41 against right-handed pitching this year. That would make Ivan Nova blush.
And that's a interesting lineup shuffle, knowing most likely it was going to be Mlodzinski throwing the bulk of the innings today, to put a guy that struggles so much against righties at the top, the guy that's going to get the most at bats unless you pinch hit for him.
And of course, what does he do against the righty? Baseball odds. He's been so downtrodden against righties that bound to get a hit sooner or later. He'll get a 2-out, 2-bagger.
Yeah, fastball caught a lot of plate. Good short compact swing. Even if Cruz comes up with that, he had no shot at second base.
Doyle hitting at 154 with runners in scoring position. He's 198 overall, his Xfinity batting stats. He's had some good years in the major leagues.
Righties the top 3, as you see that sweeper, catching the bottom of the zone. You're not going to see another lefty in this game from the Pirates until the 9th inning, if at all.
Driven to left. And Reynolds somehow tracks that line drive down. An over the shoulder catch saves a run and keeps the Pirates up 3-0. Ryan O'Hearn will lead it off for the Pirates, trying to extend their 3-0 lead. He helped them get there. Let's take a look at StatCast, powered by Google Cloud, in the first inning, striking that 2-run home run.
Center cut fastball. Leaves the bat at 104 miles per hour. Travels 413 feet. He just crushes fastballs. The righties. O'Hearn hits 333 against their fastball. Lefties, it goes up to 381 with plenty of slug.
All of his 7 home runs have come on fastballs. Homering in back-to-back games now. Starting to heat back up. 291, 29 RBIs. Slide him into the top 10 or darn close in the National League, depending on how you slice it. Victor Vodnik, a right-hander, getting up. So the Rockies use Bernardino, the lefty, for a second consecutive inning now. Seeing where the Pirates were in the order, wanted to make sure that at least O'Hearn would see a lefty. We'll see what they do for Griffin, the righty batter, next. Going the other way. And a 2-for-2 day for O'Hearn.
Doesn't matter. Righty, lefty. Throw him a fastball. Good chance he's going to hit it hard somewhere.
Well, the Pirates have had the leadoff man on each of the first 3 innings. Griffin with a base hit his first time. Got the lefty batting Horwitz next. Probably trying to get through that spot. As the Rockies having to piece together a bullpen game unexpectedly. Chase Dolander leaving with apparent injury after facing 2 batters in the 2nd inning. Might have busted his bat and hit it just poorly enough. O'Hearn, seeing the slow trickler to right, gets to 3rd. Good base running.
Yeah, indeed. It's a cut fastball. And again, Connor Griffin has such great eye-hand coordination. He doesn't always get the barrel to it, but he gets the bat to it. And you know, he catches this ball deep, and you got that big hole on the right side. O'Hearn even had a little bit of a hesitation, but it was hit so softly that he's like, hey, wet grass is probably going to slow it up a bit. I can get the 3rd. So again, keys are to cash in. The Pirates unable to do so. Last inning they had 2 on, nobody out. Got to do something here this inning.
And Horwitz facing the lefty. 306 with runners in scoring position. Don't even have to have a hit right here. Deep enough fly ball yields another run.
Middle infield back. They're playing for 2. Even a ground ball past the pitcher gets you another run. Not now.
Griffin takes off and he'll steal number 10.
Big jump. Not even worth a throw, as he got the read on the lefty, knew he wasn't coming over to first, so easily into second base. Now the Rockies will bring that infield in.
They've had to bring the infield in, or they've chosen to, in each of the first 3 innings. And the Bucks stole a base. Now you steal a deal. Scan on screen for $25 off at Valvoline Instant Oil Change. See if the Pirates can get that big hit like they did in the first. How about a big swing? Had nothing doing there. Well, like you said, you need a ground ball past the pitcher. It didn't even get there.
Nope. And with their decision, not really a whole lot you can do. I mean, even if you have the contact play on, it'd be hard to continue going there, as it just rolls about 10 feet in front of home plate.
So now righty, switch hitter righty Bernardino is gone, and the Rockies will go with their third pitcher. (3-0). The Pirates have the lead. Ozuna's coming up with 2 on. And both are in scoring position thanks to Connor Griffin's stolen base. It's time for our Penn West University Educating You. And for Connor Griffin, his 10th stolen base. That equals the most by any Pirate age 20 or younger. So the most steals, in other words, before turning 21 by a Pirate, at least in the modern era. That's all we have stats for since the last 125 years of baseball.
He'll be the first to 20 and probably the first to 30 as well as a 20-year-old.
So a big chance for Ozuna. It's Victor Vodnik.
Yeah, the Rockies saves leader. Pitching here in the third. 3.28 opponent average. That's why he's not closing anymore. 6.61 ERA. Had 4 saves and 6 opportunities earlier this year. Hard thrower. 99 you see there. He'll throw a slider, changeup. Occasional cut fastball.
The righties hit him even better. 394.
And this is where when you bring in a guy like Marcell Ozuna, these are the situations you're counting on him to cash in. I mean, he's been a proven RBI guy throughout his career. Certainly there's the power, the 300 career home runs. But he's always had the knack and the ability in these situations to come through. And I'm sure he's been disappointed with his start. He's been working hard at getting that timing back, getting comfortable in the box. But these are the situations that he's done a really good job at driving home runs throughout his long career.
Right side will play up. At least the second baseman's in the grass. Now the first baseman in the baseline. Left side's trying to stay a little behind the baseline. That's how they play it. Contact likely on here with 1 out. This is the lowest in the order that Ozuna has batted this year. He's in the 7th spot. In a big spot for the Pirates. Didn't add on early in the game yesterday, then the Rockies surged late.
The fastball has been the one that's given him trouble. I mean, there's so much velocity. The 35-year-old Marcell Ozuna, just timing-wise, has not been able to have consistent success against the fastball. Both righties and lefties hitting the low 200s against the heater. You got to assume he's going to get one here.
But Vodnik walks him. And so that fills the bases for Endy Rodriguez.
Good take. Talked about it earlier. We saw a chase on an up and away fastball
by the Rockies. Yeah,
Rockies. So Ozuna sees that one and able to draw the walk.
O'Hearn started with a single. Griffin followed with 1, stole second, and now Ozuna walking. They're full with 1 out for Rodriguez, who doubled off the right field wall. His only time up. Hard hit and throw, base hit for Endy. He's been a spark plug this afternoon. Griffin with the wheels. He scores all the way from second. 2-run single for Endy Rodriguez.
Is that great to see? Endy Rodriguez, he's not wasting any time. Called up for this series, gets his first opportunity. Aggressive early in the count. First pitch swinging, doubles in the second. First pitch swinging with the bases juiced here in the third, and coming through with another hard hit ball. And add on a couple of RBIs.
We often say it in English parlance, batting 1,000. He literally is. 2 for 2 today with 2 runs batted in. There's that big hit.
Yeah, he's yelling at Ozuna, hey, like get to third base. And see that long throw coming into home plate there. Aggressive send, by the way, by Tony Beasley with Connor Griffin. Center fielder Doyle had the ball in his glove before Griffin got to third base, but that great speed of Connor Griffin easily beating that throw.
That's only Endy's second career multi-RBI game. And he had on that one hit right there. He drove in 4 in a game in 2023. That's the only time he's had more than 1 RBI in a game.
Well, there you see Connor kind of held up with the line drive, freezing on the line drive, so didn't get too far from second, but that good speed makes up for it.
So a big hit. Those 2 runs charged to Bernardino. Triolo hits it hard into right. Ozuna will be held. And so Triolo comes through with a nice hit. And the bases are reloaded. All 3 have reached against Victor Vodnik.
Yep, cashing in. Triolo using the whole field. A walk, now a base hit. No chance for Ozuna there. The short porch in right field. Johnson was playing pretty shallow out there. 1 out. You're not going to risk making an out at home. Just turn it over. Give Cruz a chance.
He's already been credited with a double today. The Pirates can really break this open. And on a day where, you already expend 2 of your 3 lefty relievers in the first and second innings. Be nice if you get a big cushion.
Yeah, make it comfortable for Carmen.
Slowly hit. Tovar's only plays to first, and Cruz will not get a run.
Productive at bat. Bring across that 6th run. O'Neill Cruz will get an RBI, make it 30 for O'Neill Cruz. In game 44, that's production.
Yeah, you think about Pirates game number 44, so that means he's on a pace for 110 RBIs. 110. That's Josh Bell country. Last Pirate to eclipse 100 in a season. Haven't seen it this decade. Now Lau wants to get in on the fun.
Yeah, he gets a base hit. Get him to 30 RBIs.
Lau sitting on 28. O'Hearn with 29. And Reynolds with 26.
That's production. That's what you got in this lineup. That's what's so great to see, like with Endy Rodriguez just coming in. We've seen that a bunch this year. This team will get hot, and you'll see a lot of runs scored because there are guys up and down 1 through 9 that are capable of driving in runs.
And Griffin already with 2 more hits today. Griffin's not that far off the pace among the top hit collectors on the Pirates. Hat tip to the hitting coach. We're getting word on the Rockies starter Chase Dollander right arm tightness, and so anything with the arm, yeah, just shut it down and they'll take a look at him. Again, he was on the IL last year with a forearm concern. Never know, so take precaution. Lau strikes out, but the Pirates add 3 more, and they double their lead. Endy Rodriguez with a big hit. Welcome to the Toyota RAV fourth inning. And the big bat of Endy Rodriguez coming through with a 2-run hit. Part of that 3-run inning, Endy Roo, as it says on his chest protector. 6-0, the Pirates have the lead. Trying to make sure they secure this series from the Rockies. Goodman with a base hit. His first time around. Montgomery opened, and then Sisk was the follower. Is that how you call it?
That's what I'd call it.
Yeah.
A follower. And then Carmen, the bulk reliever.
However you term it, as long as the Pirates end up on top at the end of the day, that's that.
Yep. Win the series. Carmen, a nice lead. Stay efficient. That might be all. It could be all you need. Might not even have to go back into the bullpen. Although
Carmen earlier this year has shown that he can go deep into the ballgame and be efficient. We saw that 6-inning outing against the Giants. It was just at 74 pitches. You have the opportunity to go farther if the manager wants you to. One out in the fourth. Homestand will continue through the weekend. The Phillies are coming to town tomorrow night, 6:40 game, and afterward, Zambelli fireworks. Make sure you get your tickets, pirates.com/fireworks.
if Carmen finishes this game, he'll be the winner. I was just sitting there wondering,
Yeah.
what's the longest? I guess 4 innings is the longest you can go for a save. How does that work?
Yeah, it has to be. Yeah, because the only other way that someone could get a win, they'd have to go 5. I suppose maybe in an extra inning game.
Yeah, I guess.
Could be something like that. There is a scenario you can get a win by pitching 4 innings, but that's only in a 5-inning game.
Yeah.
Which almost never happens. By the way, to add on about our promotional announcement to you about the weekend's contest tomorrow night, a little bit more like spring weather. And then Saturday and Sunday, the highs are going to be in the 80s, it looks like. So really good baseball weather this weekend, at least in terms of the temperature. Do check the forecast for the raindrops. Always good this time of year for the flowers.
Hopefully this is it for the chilly weather. Let's get the summer already. Really looking forward to this weekend, not only because of the weather, but you got the Phillies, nice matchup.
Good crowds expected.
Yeah, we'll have nice big crowds. There'll be some electricity here.
Yeah, no more. No more parkas, furs. Trapping season is over. Time to spread out the blanket, have a picnic, watch some baseball. Unless you're Hannah, I don't blame her. She's out in the elements.
There's 2 coats here, guys. 2.
2 coats.
This one mostly to keep the rain off.
I have 3 on.
Well, I'm not surprised you don't have the hood on. You were afraid to mess the hair.
Yeah, the hair's a lost cause at this point, Rock. I mean, we're doing what we can to salvage it, but it's not too bad right now, though. The rain did stop for a little, so we're doing okay, you know?
Yeah.
At 1:48 p.m., Hannah said the hair's a lost cause, and she was referring to herself. I thought she was.
I'm sorry, Joe.
I thought you were saying it to me.
Yeah, well,
No, yours
Yeah.
yours is just lost.
It's just lost.
Yeah.
since he was 12.
Yeah.
Mine's at
13.
least still here,
13.
but
Well, it's looking good, despite the elements, Hannah.
thank you.
Always,
Thank you guys.
always there informing us.
Enjoy your heater.
Again, we have more than one heater, and I have more than 2 coats on. But other than that, it's fine.
We're okay.
Not that bad. Just a little chilly today.
We need Carmen to get in the zone. Don't want to give these Rockies a chance to come back. Free passes are not the way to go with a nice lead.
Now here's an opportunity. Last time that he had that opener, he was real forthright talking to reporters after the game. He said, I just need to be better against lefties. I don't want to have them have to do this. And now in this game, you start to see the theme. Hey, I know I need to throw more strikes. I've got a big lead, etc. So he has a chance to still right that. Plenty of time to do so. And you pointed out when he got into the ball game, you know, that long homerless streak, one of the longest that the Pirates have had in years and years. Went 76 innings without surrendering a long ball.
Yeah, especially their hottest hitter, their best hitter in terms of production, home runs. You know, you just walk 2 guys to get to this guy who had a great game last night, 5 RBIs. That's not ideal. It was a good time for maybe one of his better splits, perfectly placed.
It came into today leading the National League in OPS. Look at that, well over 1,000. That's for the season. And is hit well in the clutch. 429 with runners in scoring position. And Majinski gets him to pop it up. Getting Moniak with 2 on. Maybe that'll turn the tides.
Yeah, that was a big pitch. Got that slider in there on the hands.
Still got to get through one more tough hitter. Maybe not the same caliber of power, but hit for a high batting average this year. Johnston. If the Rockies are going to turn around, they need stories like him. He was a waiver claim from the Marlins. He debuted last year. Nothing that really stood out in terms of his surface numbers, but teams all have staffs of dozens and dozens of engineers, data engineers, looking for finds. Or it could have been a scout that saw something, been watching Marlins games. They select him, and he's had a good year in their ballpark, especially not so bad on the road either. Out toward the wall. And O'Hearn trying to get familiar with that wall out there. And it's a 2-run double instead for Johnston.
Pretty hard hit ball out there. And yeah, that's the same pitch he got Moniak to pop up the third, and O'Hearn not quite knowing where that wall is. Figures he thought he was up against it, so he didn't get all the way back to the wall, jumped just over his glove, and so the Rockies on the board. 2 walks here in this 4th inning. Come around to score to make it a 4-run game.
Johnston, who was hitting .419 with runners in scoring position prior to that double. That close, but called a strike. Ezequiel Tovar's never had a .300 on base percentage any season. Rockies inking him to an extension. Been a Gold Glover at short.
He can play some shortstop.
and has hit at the major league level. Led the league in doubles in that 24 campaign at 26 home runs. And a couple of years ago hit .269 for the batting average, still an on base under 300. So it just doesn't walk a lot. Might get him to chase.
By the way, some research done on the truck. The longest save, Joaquin Benoit, 7-inning save.
I thought you meant in time. He took a long time between pitches.
And that was the longest in time, 7 innings. By the way, the Pirates have had 2 pitchers that had 5-inning saves. Larry McWilliams, the lefty, and Bloss Minor.
Is that so? Benoit finished his career with the Pirates in 17. Maybe in play for Horwitz. He'll grab the final out, but the Rockies with a 2-out, 2-run double by Troy Johnston. That 2-out, 2-run double. The Rockies are on the board. 4-run game now as we go to the 4th. Last half coming up. On the UPMC scoreboard, Pirates Baseball is presented by UPMC, the official healthcare provider of sports coverage on SNP.
Tanner Gordon, the new pitcher. ERA 6.35. Good strikeout numbers.
Who's your favorite pitcher on the Rockies?
Well, I'm guessing this is a fellow Hoosier here.
Indiana University. And Hearn is coming up, and he's facing lefties and doing well against them.
Any day that we have a left-handed pitcher going, I'm right by his side trying to get as many looks at a left-handed arm as possible. I think staying in the middle of the field, not trying to do too much are some keys that keep me on those left-handed sinkers and fastballs through the middle of the field. And then if you get a good pitch to hit, an off-speed pitch, a slider, a curveball, something spin in the middle, that's when I kind of let myself open up and try to do a little bit of damage.
Pretty impressive how they could record that during a rainstorm. I wonder how they protect the camera from such a thing, because the camera would be out in the rain. Someone would have to be very selfless and protect the camera with maybe an umbrella or something.
We hire umbrella holders. Too quick.
Yeah, right down the line. And here's what O'Hearn has done off left-handed pitching today.
There's Quintana in last night's game. Went deep last night. Went deep this afternoon. And there's the lefty, another base hit to left.
I really started to turn it on last year, hitting left-handed pitching. Asked him a couple of weeks ago, and anything you do differently against lefties or have? Nope. Trying to do the same thing. So against this righty, hitting it very deeply, but here in this ballpark, that's an out. Probably not everywhere, though. Griffin already with a pair of singles.
It's nice to see a Hoosier here at the ballpark. We're going to have a Hoosier here all weekend.
Oh, that's right. The leadoff man of the Phillies.
That's right.
Kyle Schwarber. Tanner Gordon grew up in Champaign, Illinois. That's where the University of Illinois is, and he went to Indiana.
Yeah, there's many a Hoosier fan out there nowadays. I mean, it's amazing how many more Hoosier fans I've met in the last 4 or 5 months, especially Hoosier football fans.
Yeah, they finally got over the Mendoza line. Usually a 500 football team for many years.
They were, I think, 0-11 the year before I got there.
Oh, is that right? Pretty good when Antoine Randall was there, quarterbacking. But nothing like this past year. Griffin already has a 4-hit game to his credit. Looking for his 3rd hit in the 4th here. What do you think of his bat so far?
He's impressive. I mean, like I said, I had some concerns coming out of spring training about velocity on the inner half of the plate, but the deeper we go into the season, the more we see Connor Griffin, the more we see him getting to the velocity.
First 1-2-3 inning for the Rockies pitchers today. Pirates baseball on S&P is presented by UPMC, the official healthcare provider of sports coverage on S&P, and by Barrel Automotive, driven to be better. Pirates lead by 4. Rockies got a couple, converting the 2 walks by Majinski on that 2-run double by Johnston. I was going to say it's the 9, 1, and 2 hitters coming up, but that doesn't really tell you anything. Rockies kind of jumbling their lineup with the left-handed opener today. 2 best hitters are batting 6th and 7th. With apologies to Hunter Goodman, batting 3rd today. Probably in that conversation as well. Trying to thwart the opener.
Yeah, what'll be interesting to see as we get later into this game, you know, if it stays a fairly close game, it's a 4-run game now. You know, does Moniak and Johnston, do they get a 5th at bat? Let's just say if it turns over for the 5th time and the top 3 get, you know, that 5th at bat, but not their 2 best hitters.
And last night they did. This 2 and 3 hitters came up one more time. You know, years ago, your buddy Craig Counsell, when he was a new manager with the Brewers, that was about the time where you started to see guys. It wasn't just the 3-4 hitters that were your best hitters. They started, the number 2 hitter was your best hitter. Mm-hmm. Well, that used to be a table setting spot. Well, why do you put that number 2 hitter or that best player in the number 2 spot? Best chance of him coming up again one more time in the game.
Yeah, and before the DH, I questioned it to a degree because I wanted them to get as many RBI opportunities as possible. You want your best hitters to hit with runners in scoring position, with runners on, and so when the pitcher was still hitting, I'm like, well, if you're batting 2nd, how many opportunities will you get to drive in runs? Now there's a DH. Makes a lot more sense.
So Moniak, for instance, was the number 2 hitter last night. The number 2 hitter today is Doyle. And O'Hearn sliding well before the fence there as he learns his new ballpark.
Long way to go.
will lay off the sinker. Mlodzinski walked a couple and gave up a double in the fourth, bidding for a 1-2-3 inning here in his third inning of relief.
Growing more and more confident with that split. Really relies on it. Throw it behind in the count. Feels he could throw it for a strike when he needs to. Throw it for chase.
He's got that fastball at 95. Comes back to strike him out on the splitter. It is a 1-2-3 inning for Carmen Mlodzinski. You can score big on authentic gear at MLBshop.com. From official jerseys and memorabilia to hats and hoodies, we've got the season covered. Visit MLBshop.com/Pirates, the official source for your Pirates gear. Everyone getting into it. Hannah, though, defeated.
Parker John was a Chester fan. Was rooting hard for Chester. Chester was able to finish.
Yeah. Cheese. Some thunder off the bat of Horwitz. Could have caught that ball. Instead, it's a double for Horwitz.
Yeah, I mean, get used to that wall out there. I mean, he's looking to play it off the wall. It didn't hit the wall. Didn't reach the wall. At that point, you might as well just keep going. Try to make a catch. And Horwitz drove it pretty good. A little off the end of the bat.
So the Pirates, for a fourth time today with a leadoff hit in an inning, 3 doubles and a single. Good chance for Ozuna to at least move him up. Try to keep the hand extended on the Rockies. Don't let them crawl back into any closer than this.
By the way, that was Breeze Parker John, not my Parker John. My Parker John was in school like he's supposed to be.
Oh, right. Yes. Well, maybe they're out of school today.
No, they
In
go
their
to the
district?
same school district.
Oh, okay. All right. Well,
Unless there's something I don't know.
early release. Cheese Chester. Maybe they had a little wager. Pretty intense.
Chester's intense too.
Oh yeah, that's
You never see Chester doing any celebrating when he wins. He's all business. He acts like he's done it before.
Ozuna strikes out, cannot move up the runner. Andy Rodriguez, our Hyundai clutch play. He has really come through today. Just great to have him back in a big league uniform.
It really is, and you know, this is what we've expected from Andy Rodriguez for a few years now. You know, one time top minor league prospect here with the Pirates. Again, the injuries have kept him out a bunch. And boy, first start. See that bat, the bat that everybody's been excited about. In
the low minors, was an MVP in back-to-back seasons in A-ball once he was acquired from the Mets as part of the Joe Musgrove trade, and then they flipped Joey Lucchesi, who they got in that trade, to the Mets for Endy Rodriguez. David Bednar coming back in that trade years back. But Endy pretty much growing up in the Pirates system, and yeah, there was a lot of clamoring for him to come to the major leagues. And for a couple more weeks, he's still just 25 years old. Only had 98 plate appearances, minors and majors, 24 and 25 seasons combined.
We've talked about the improved offense this year and how much longer the lineup is. I mean, there's been production pretty much up and down the lineup. There's been some questions, of course, about the catching. Joey Bart was getting hot here of late, unfortunately, on the injured list. We've seen Henry have some productive games as well, but with Endy, boy, if he could find that that consistency, that swing, obviously he needs to play. But man, think about Endy Rodriguez in this lineup. It'll be interesting to see how much he plays, or how long he's even here, for that matter. But if he's swinging the bat and he's being productive, we're going to see him in the lineup, you would think.
The last update coming today on Joey Bart, and no definitive timeline yet. He has an infection in his foot that popped up, and so those can be unpredictable. So it'll be Henry and Endy for a while. Triolo, a base hit with 2 men on his last time up. Also has drawn a walk today. With some production from that number 9 spot. Cracked but foul. Gordon trying to be the first Rockies pitcher to record 5 outs today, after the starter Dollander removed because of injury in the second. Right arm tightness for Chase Dollander. Pirates have mashed 10 hits already against this Rockies outfit.
And again, you talk about the balance in the lineup. 7 of the 9 already with at least 1 hit.
There's a lot of nights like that now.
Yes. And there wasn't many last year, it felt like. I mean, it was a struggle most of the year.
Yeah, the lulls now are brief and less severe in terms of the offense. The Pirates are close to averaging 5 runs a game. This is their best offense right now. It would be since 1940. And they're going to add to it. Triolo comes through. That'll knock in Horwitz. Endy has to get back. RBI single for Triolo. 7-2 Pirates.
The ability to get to that inside fastball. And they were trying to come in on his hands. He just pulled the hands in, hits a bullet up the middle.
And Triolo been typically better against lefty pitchers last year, and getting the start against the righty today, and all of his at-bats against right-handed pitchers. 3 different ones. Been on base all 3 times. Cruz batted with the Sacks pack last time out. with 2 men on, and the Rockies quickly turn a double play. But the Pirates add on, and they're up 7-2.
Bucks up 7-2 in the top of the 6th, thanks to an RBI from Jared Triolo last half inning. And as for another Jared Jones is in the dugout. He's coming off of his 3rd rehab start. All of the performance metrics so far that the team assesses after each outing, after each bullpen, they're returning to their baseline. So he's recovering really well, said Pirates Director of Sports Medicine Todd Tomzik earlier today. He said he's going to throw aside in the coming days for his next start, and then that next start date will be determined by Don Kelly, Ben Cherington, and Bill Murphy. So he's trending in a really good way after his 3rd rehab. In terms of pitch limit and how that's being determined, it's high-level collaborative effort. So there's a lot of different metrics going into that as well. But so far, so good in terms of how he's been recovering after each outing. And each outing itself has looked pretty good so far, Joe.
Yeah, that's great news that he's hit really every benchmark. Recovering from that surgery last year. Remember, leaving the game in spring training in March of last year. Triolo, nifty play to start. But when Jared Jones comes back, you know, there's a, I mean, long term, everybody said he is a starting pitcher. They have not said exactly what role yet, but they're going to wait and see as they go along here and see how he fits in. But he definitely will fit into this Pirates outfit.
No kidding. Yeah, I'm looking forward to him getting back. Good to hear all the reports are good. Feels good. That's the most important thing, of course, the health. And yeah, we'll see how it all works out.
Have that electric right arm back in the mix for the Pirates. Mlodzinski a rebound 5th, retiring the side in order. Rumfield walked in that 4th inning. Back-to-back walks, ended up scoring on a 2-out double by Troy Johnston. That's how the Rockies got their runs. Pirates have threatened in most every inning.
A couple sinkers back to back to the lefty. And kind of like that. You know, the 4-seamer has not been good for Carmen against lefties. And you'd think, you know, with what we've seen so far, the numbers against his 4-seamer and lefties, it's not a good match. You'd think he'd maybe just, when he's going to throw a fastball to left-handed hitters, just use 2-seamers. The numbers are much better with that 2-seamer than the 4-seamer.
And overall this season coming into the game, his fastball, I mean, the 2 and 4-seam combined hit the hardest of anyone's fastball, but he's a ground ball pitcher.
That's,
so,
again,
you know,
why you start thinking about 2-seamers. You're not going to get hurt too bad on ground balls.
So he's been able to keep the ball in the ballpark a good bit. Able to get the splitter out to right, and the first hit today for Rumfield. When is it easier to hit that split finger pitch? Is there a good time for it?
If it's up
for a hitter, yeah.
If it's up in the zone. And it's been such a good pitch for him. And for the most part, he's kept it down.
Fair ball. And they'll turn it. Nicely started and finished by Horwitz. An inning-ending double play, getting that ground ball from Mlodzinski. Save up to $1,500 during the Memorial Day sale. Shop Mattress Warehouse. Carmen Mlodzinski talking it over with his catcher, Andy Rodriguez.
Carmen's always a guy, it seems like, just wants to learn. You know, always trying to get better. Always wanting input.
Talking with him back in spring training, one of the things that he wants to learn is how to read swings better. That's something that doesn't inherently happen with every pitcher when they first come to the major leagues. It doesn't. Some guys, you know, kind of know it. Some need to learn it, and he feels like he's getting there.
Yeah, I mean, I would figure. I mean, I know there are some guys. I think of Greg Maddux right away when I think about a guy that can read swings and know what to do with the ball and know how to get guys out. And, heard so many stories about him predicting, oh, I'm going to throw this pitch and this hitter's going to do that, and that's what happens. You know, but pitchers, you know, I'm not being a pitcher myself and not knowing what they think, but I'm assuming when they throw the ball, they're following the ball. They're not looking at the swing, you know, whereas you know, seeing who's long, who's short, you know, where the holes are. I mean, that'd be hard to do as a pitcher while you're pitching. I mean, I think watching on TV or maybe even watching from the dugout, you might be able to read swings. But as far as being on the mound reading a swing, would have to be impossible, I would think.
Lau strikes out to start the 6th. Yeah, just the continual graduation of being able to know what pitch to throw when and why, rather than simply relying on the catcher. And he's becoming more and more capable of
I think you could
calling
tell
his own game. You know?
You could tell when a guy, you know, is hunting fastball or, you know, maybe sitting breaking ball, just based on a result. Might be a little bit easier, but as far as, you know, there's a lot of numbers that you have that are provided to you that knows, you know, what they're good at. The hitters, and so he can hit a fastball. You can tell that by his average and slug and what have you. But as far as actually reading a swing while you're pitching, you know, but when I talk about watching it on TV or watching it from the dugout, and you know, you can sit there and say, oh boy, he can't get to that fastball. And that doesn't mean the next day, you know, your fastball might be different than the guy before's fastball, and all of a sudden, well, wait a minute, he couldn't hit the fastball yesterday, but why is he hitting mine? Well, it might have a different shape, has a different movement.
One may have late life, so to speak. One might be a little straighter.
Yeah, a hitter, sometimes the timing's off one day and it's back the next. That could be another reason.
Yeah. Try to put numbers and precision on everything, and sometimes there's some really interesting things that can be quantified, and there's a lot that sometimes stays mysterious. Gordon gets the first 2 outs. Picking up some innings here in the middle for Colorado after they lost their starter early in the 2nd inning. O'Hearn has had a good day. And back Carmen Mlodzinski. I think you brought up the notion earlier this series about how the Pirates lineup is so much deeper that you're going to have some guys maybe not going so well for a few days, and some guys start to heat up for a few days, and there's always a few guys that are always hitting because of that.
Yeah, that's, I mean, it felt like last year, for instance, you know, earlier in the year, Cruz hit the ball well, and you know, I want to say it was an early trip out west where we went to LA and Cruz was hitting leadoff homer every day, and you know, he was carrying the offense. You know, but when Cruz or Reynolds, for instance, if those two cooled down, it felt like the entire offense cooled down because they were basically your biggest run producers. Well, here, I mean, Lau, for instance, 0 for 4. There's been days where he's carried the offense, and you know, so you have, you know, pretty much 6, 7 legitimate bats in there, and so if 2 or 3 of them are cool, you have a good chance the other 2 or 3 are producing enough with this pitching staff. Might be all you need is a couple of 3 guys to be swinging the bat well to score enough runs.
And today it's the 8-9 hitters, Andy Rodriguez and Jared Triolo. No one's gotten on the mound. They've faced 3 different pitchers each.
And you know, just going to go back to that St. Louis series where the Cardinals beat the Pirates here. And there's days where there's series where an entire offense gets hot, and despite the good pitching, you can lose a series because the team gets hot. The Pirates haven't gotten hot yet. We haven't seen where over the course of a series or a week where the offense, you had 6, 7 guys swinging it, or even 5, 6 guys swinging it good. The Pirates will get there at some point, and it won't matter who we're playing, we're going to beat them. And the opposite's true. There's times where you might get 7 guys in the same series or so that aren't swinging it well, and then you win and you can still win because of the pitching, like in Arizona where you score 5 runs and win a series.
Yeah.
But with this pitching staff and the way they're pitching, and we anticipate them to continue to pitch that well, where the offense starts clicking and you got 5, 6 guys going, you're going to run off 6, 7 wins in a row, 8 of 10, 9 of 10.
On the 10th pitch, there was a hit. And O'Hearn with 2 outs saying that's good. They're for a single, maybe respecting Johnston's arm.
I would have loved to see him go for it. I think it would have taken a perfect throw to get him, and then he would have been only a triple short of a cycle. The way he uses the whole field, a shot to the left center gap could maybe get him there.
So instead now you need an extra base hit to knock in O'Hearn. Not really a base stealer. Griffin certainly capable. Already with a couple of hits today. Driven in 19. Pulled off the slider. I thought I'd see so much more of that from him. Young hitters, right on right slider. A lot of times you see him pull off, and he doesn't do that all that often.
No, you can tell. Perhaps there's been a couple at bats this year where he's really looked in, and that's when we've seen him do some chasing. But I think he's done a pretty good job of just seeing and reacting. And he's been so good at covering the outer half of the plate. And when you have a hitter up there that can cover the outer half of the plate, hard or soft, and that's what Connor. That's probably the thing that's I've been most impressed with his swing, is that he's handled the ball out over, because most young hitters are looking to charge fastball, and that's when you see all the chase. For that matter, almost anytime you see hitters chasing, they're anticipating fastball and trying to get the bat head out. But I think even though he wasn't having great success with the fastball in spring training and early this year, he still is stuck with that consistent approach of looking for the ball out over and doing some damage out there.
And Gordon going with it to strike him out, and the Pirates leave a man in the 6th. Pirates Baseball on SNP is presented by AHN, official medical provider of your Pittsburgh Pirates, and by Giant Eagle, your home team for groceries. The dangerous Mickey Moniak. I think a lot of folks, if they were tuned in on Tuesday night when we began the broadcast, some might say you're just trying to play that fun Mickey song. Talk about him. No, he's been maybe the best hitter in the National League this season.
Yeah, he's been very impressive. The guy with so much promise as a #1 overall pick, and just took him a while. A couple different organizations, but yeah, this year when you look at the numbers, and we saw it firsthand here last night, you see why he was such a high pick.
First overall by the Phillies 10 years ago out of high school. So he celebrated his 28th birthday yesterday. This is like usually the time where guys blossom, if they're going to. 27, 28 years old. Rockies picking him up after the Angels released him out of spring training last year. Good hitting environment in Denver. And then you start to hit, maybe get a little confidence.
For sure, yeah.
He's hit 36 homers in about the equivalent of a season.
Yeah, that's the thing that I think has surprised me, like how much power this guy has. You know, when you think first overall pick, you got to have special talent. But that's why I was actually surprised when you said that Endy's only 25. I mean, it's encouraging. I mean, you hope that he stays healthy, and he's getting an opportunity here today and showing off those skills that we were so excited about before the injuries.
A leadoff walk here to Moniak. And so often catchers, especially, their bats don't develop until their mid to late 20s, if they do. And so Endy's still in that prime. Third walk allowed by Majinski. And a double play behind him last inning. But Johnston drove in a pair with a 2-out double back into fourth. Hitting now at .328. How does Majinski get so many ground balls?
It's good. I would guess movement. I don't think TV always gives it justice, like some of the movement, and especially late downward movement. Hard to get it in the air, especially in this day and age where most hitters are looking to pull the ball. And he has an assortment of off-speed pitches, of course, the splitter, the curve, the sweeper, to where pitches that are moving down as they approach home plate, you're more likely to get on top of it.
And so then hit it downward, which is a ground ball. Do I understand that right?
You are right on it again.
Just trying to understand what you're saying. But no, it makes sense. Yeah. He's already gotten one double play ball today.
There's been a couple of guys that former Pirates that were just so good at getting ground ball. Zane Smith is the prime example. He'd be a guy that would go up there and just throw so many fastballs that sunk, and just ground ball after ground ball. It would just be playing infield behind him. You'd love it just because you're getting a ton of action. He was quick. The game seemed like they were 2 hours long, or 2 hours short, and he'd give up 3 seeing eye singles and 18 ground ball outs.
Oh, some carrying power down the line. How about Reynolds tracking that down? No fear of the wall there. Good play by Brian Reynolds.
Very nice play by Brian Reynolds. That ball hit from the lefty, slicing away from him, and not a lot of room down there between the wall and that third base left field foul line. You see only 4 or 5 feet coming close to that outfield wall as well. Made it look easy.
Tovar with a base hit. Able to square up the sinker from Majinski, who came on in the 3rd inning. Pirates used 2 lefty relievers to start the game. Each pitched an inning. Fifth inning of relief for Majinski. And Bill Murphy has begun his ascent.
Yeah, it's good to point that out. Fifth inning of relief, because if you're just tuning in and you're seeing, wow, he's in the seventh inning, only 75 pitches. That's pretty efficient. But didn't come in until the third.
And now here's a message from Levin Furniture and Mattress.
Nobody sells Lazy Boy for less than Levin.
See how far Majinski can go as a starter. He's gone 6, and then in the other outing that he had with Montgomery opening for him, he pitched 6 innings. Not quite as efficient today as he was in some of those outings. A mound visit also gets the Pirates bullpen active for the first time since Majinski's come on. And there's that double play ball.
Pitching coaches love that. Well, I'm going to go have a meeting on the mound, get me a double play ball.
Good strategy. Carmen Majinski getting that inning-ending double play. Second time today. He's had 2 turned behind him.
Yeah, indeed. You were just talking about the ground ball. That sweeper, not the greatest location. It was left up a little bit, but the downward movement gets him a ground ball, and routine for Lau, Griffin, and Horwitz.
And Majinski fired up. Gets through 5.
I wonder, was he pointing at Endy or was he pointing at Bill Murphy? Like, yeah, great call. Thank you.
Came out and said, hey, you should get a double play ball right here. All right. No, I'm sure there was some more to it, but whenever there's that result right after a mound visit, that's nice. Horwitz doubled his last time up. Pirates with 3 in the first, 3 more in the third. Horwitz came home on Triolo's single in the 5th.
Just noticed the OPS for Spencer. It's so quietly got that OPS over 800.
And a rare strikeout for him. And let's recap what happened so far in the game in our dashboard report presented by your Western PA GMC dealers. And Chase Dollander, the Rockies starter, had to leave the game with injury today in the second inning. Right arm tightness for him. And Ryan O'Hearn with a home run for his second straight day.
Bring up Spencer Horwitz as the Rockies look like they're going to get another reliever ready. Yeah, I got to wonder how many hitters in baseball have more walks than strikeouts. It got to be less than 10%, maybe less than 5% even.
It was 15 the other day of qualified hitters.
15 total?
Yeah, of qualified hitters. I don't know how many there are, but yeah, certainly less than 10%. Maybe less than 5, yeah. Not too many.
Yeah. 4 more walks than strikeouts now for Spencer.
It wasn't all that long ago that it was a lot more commonplace, but now a very special achievement. Dennis Santana getting up for the Pirates. I often like to point out that Gary Sheffield, just about every year of his career, had more walks than strikeouts. In some years, almost as many home runs as strikeouts. And is not in the Hall of Fame. And I don't know Gary Sheffield, but I just think it's funny. You know, it's like you talk about that. I mean, year after year.
Yeah, it is something. He was one heck of a player, and power, average, RBIs. Did he get the 500 homers?
Yes. 509. He'll be in there one day.
You would think.
Tanner Gordon trying to settle some things down for the Rockies, doing a nice job in middle relief today. You can stream Pirates games at home or on the go with SNP 360. Just go to getsnp360.com or scan the QR code. Log in with your provider and get direct access to live games, plus all the Pittsburgh sports content you love. Billy Cook will come in the game and play left field. Brian Reynolds will switch from left field to right field. And moving from right field to first base is Ryan O'Hearn. And new pitcher for the Pirates.
Valvoline numbers for Dennis Santana, making his 19th appearance. 3.63 ERA. Opponents hitting only .219 against him.
So Majinski goes 5 innings of relief today after the 2 lefties, Montgomery and Sisk, each pitch an inning preceding him. Santana in this ballpark in his career, an ERA of .225.
He's just been so good, so reliable.
Brenton Doyle 0 for 3.
Go back to that St. Louis series, you know, Dennis, it was just Dennis, you know, all year long until that St. Louis series, and you know they touched him up. Got that ERA up there where they got 4 earned runs off him in just 2/3 of an inning. His ERA went up almost a little more than 2.5 runs. This is what we're used to. A routine fly ball. An easy 2-hopper. He's so good at missing the barrel of the bat.
It had been so automatic for so long that when he does have a hiccup or two, just reminds you how good he has been.
A rare errant throw from Jared Triolo. He's usually right on the money. It's weird just to see anybody have to stretch at first base when he throws it across.
They're both quite good at first base, but Ryan O'Hearn is 6'2", Spencer Horwitz is 5'10". That may have been the difference right there.
Could have been.
As they made changes, as they typically do with a lead late in games.
Ooh.
High strike call.
Very high.
Rockies lost a challenge very early in this game. It was Goodman, the catcher, who wanted the challenge call. Called for it late, but was still granted it, and it was incorrect by 1.5 inches. Oh, Bubba, a bubble.
Hubba Bubba.
Hubba Bubba on Bubba. They'll talk over if one of them will pop it. No one says a word, do they?
Nope.
Did he go? No on the appeal. That's a check. Trying to spoil the sinker right there. Majinski 2 runs in his 5 innings. Scoreless first for Montgomery, scoreless second for Sisk.
I want to say it was Santana's last outing where he was in the upper 90s. It was almost like, you know, weird to see that, like that a little more max effort. He's been so good at just putting it where he wants and keeping him off balance.
A 1-2-3 inning for Santana, and the Pirates coming to bat here in the 8th. Pirates up 7-2 on the UPMC scoreboard. Pirates baseball presented by UPMC, the official healthcare provider of sports coverage on SNP. The Bubba Bubble. Finally realized that it's been on his hat. Or maybe not. Why is everybody so interested in me right now? Jared Triolo's gotten on base all 3 times today. He has walked a couple of singles, the last of which driving in a run in the 5th. Inside sinker. Castro with a fine play.
Boy, that's a really nice play. He wasn't playing all the way back, which gave him a chance, and then he had to go to his right and you know, goes at it with the backhand and gets rid of it so quickly and so accurately. Got him by a step.
That submarine throw over there. Juan Mejia was on the World Baseball Classic team with O'Neill Cruz.
4.66 ERA. Good bit of punch outs. Healthy average against, though, 286.
Lefties hit him better.
Ouch. Play it off.
The 2 teamed up for the Dominican Republic team in the World Baseball Classic, along with a couple of other Pirates, Dennis Santana, Gregory Soto. Pretty good bullpen.
Oh, Bubba.
He doesn't know it's there.
Probably not.
Trying to get another one going. It'll be challenged by Goodman.
The call of ball by the catcher is challenged by the catcher.
Voice of Paul Clemens. Goodman miscalculated earlier today.
Call's overturned. Colorado has 1 remaining.
They'll win that one. So Cruz, I think that's probably the 3rd or 4th time this year that he's been called out on strikes on an ABS challenge.
Good challenge once again.
Now looking for his first hit today. This will be the 5th different pitcher he's faced. 5 plate appearances, 5 different pitchers.
You always seem to, you know, when there's a bullpen game, I think it's a little more of a struggle to have a big out offensive output. And that's why you're facing somebody different every time up.
Pirates go down in order in the 8th. Don't mean to burst your bubble, Bubba, but you got something on your head. Pirates strikeouts all season are presented by Coppers, protecting what matters, preserving the future. See if the Pirates can rack up a few more here in the 9th inning. Got a 7-2 lead for Johan Ramirez.
Yeah. Valvoline numbers for Johan. He can get some punch outs, 26 of them in his 24 innings. Just a 205 opponent average.
Last pitched on Sunday in San Francisco. Pitched the 10th and the 11th innings. That's a great point how you put that. It's so tough to hit.
Yeah, I mean, for a right-handed batter, I don't know. It might be the most uncomfortable at bat. It's got that good velocity and a big sweeping breaking ball.
It's like the moon. And for Ramirez, in May, he's pitched 4 1/3. And he's allowed 8 runs, and in part because of 4 walks and 4 hit batters.
Yeah, that's where he gets in trouble. You know, the command. When he's in the zone, very tough to hit.
But before that, real slim with the walks and very few, if any, hit batters, which was an issue earlier in his career. See him often in the bullpen. Kind of that safety valve reliever down there. If sometimes he doesn't come in the game, sometimes he does. Pitches more in extra innings than any other pitcher in baseball this year, just as it turns out. So he's pitched in some pressure situations, and most of the time has answered the call. A chance to try to get him right and be on the mound for the end of a game where the Pirates win.
Even there, you know, 3-1 count. The hitter knows what's coming. He knows he's getting a fastball. He got one right there, swung through it. Even 3-2, probably knew a fastball was coming. He was late.
And there'll be a leadoff walk here in the 9th. Oblivious Cam. Hey, yeah, there you go.
I was almost convinced that he had known, you know, but obviously not.
Yeah.
But it's been about an hour.
Bubba has the red trim on the uniform again. Look at it. Yeah, a little rookie fun, that's all. If they don't do that to you, that's a bad thing. He did go. Amazing that nobody says a word about it.
Nope.
All the starters hanging around. Tony, why didn't you tell me? Foul tip struck him out. And let's take a look at our North Star Chevrolet Buick and GMC star of the game. How about this great series from Ryan O'Hearn?
Yep, he's just hitting everybody, righties, lefties. doubles, homers, driving in runs, going the other way. And just so impressive the way he goes about his business.
And will finish the series with a 3-6-3 double play. How about that? And a nice inning from Yohan Ramirez, and all around a series win for the Bucks.
Yep, gotta love the way they went about their business today. You know, they started swinging it from the get-go. You know, we had the opener, of course. Mason Montgomery did his job, striking out all three to get the 3 outs, 3 punch outs mixed around a single. And the offense, Cruz with a gift double on a pop-up that was misplayed. O'Hearn with the 2-run homer. They added on. It seemed like everybody contributed offensively. And then after Evan Sisk came and pitched to second, Carmen Majinski 5 strong. And just one of those ho-hum games. You know, one of those games that you like to see, not much stress. Pitchers did their job, the offense did their job, the defense did their job. Just a complete ball game.
And so the Pirates take 2 out of 3 from the Rockies as they start off the homestand. Philadelphia will be coming to town next. And the Pirates had a lot of contributors on the mound and at the plate in the series as well.
Don't forget about Endy. I mean, great to see Endy Rodriguez, by the way, back up in the big leagues. You know, he's dealt with so much over the last couple of years and not wasting any time. A first pitch double in the second, a 2 RBI single in the third to add some insurance. Great to see him back in the fold, and you know, I'm sure the pitchers appreciate it too, as far as the way he handled them behind the plate. You know, they just scored 2 runs, and that was after a couple of free passes. But yeah, it's good to see that this lineup up and down once again, all contributing.
A second career multi-RBI game for Endy Rodriguez in his first big league game in almost a year. And the Pirates put it all together here this afternoon, and they beat the Rockies 7-2 to make sure that they secure the series victory over Colorado. And let's check in with Hannah with the player of the game.
Endy, I think your emotions here speak for you with the interaction with the fans you just had. So how good did it feel to finally be back in PNC Park?
I love you guys. No, man, be back. That means a lot to me. You know, being out 2 years, being hurt, it's hard. And I just want to give it the best of me, boys. Love you, boys.
You definitely gave it your best today, especially let's start with that offensive performance that you had. How good did you feel about your at-bats that you had tonight for the team?
I feel amazing. I mean, 2-run single to the middle, double, walk. It's beautiful.
It was a beautiful thing, and bringing guys around as well, adding to the scoreboard. What was your approach there with the bases juiced?
Just hit the ball to the middle and not try to do too much. That's it.
You saw 5 pitchers today, too. How impressed were you with the way that they navigated this outing?
I think they see the minor league. I've been taking a lot of pitches, but just get here and make me be aggressive.
And on your side as well, getting to see all of your pitchers defensively behind the plate, what was it like to help them through this one to get the win?
I think we got a plan. We execute the plan. That's it.
Well, Endy, you got to have a lot of fun. I know you talked about how important it was to you. What was your impression, the energy in here, getting to hoist the cone? Welcome to all the new antics this year.
I mean, that's amazing from the TV. Be around the guys and now be part of the cone. It's amazing.
You had a lot of reasons to hoist it today. Thank you, Endy. We wish you the best of luck moving forward.
Thank you, boys. Love you, boys.
He loves it, Joe.
And a nice job behind the plate, too, for Endy Rodriguez. Good to see him healthy and back and contributing to the Pirates on day 1 back in the big leagues for Endy Rodriguez. And a lot of contributors all series long for the Pirates, who take 2 out of 3 from Colorado. And we invite you to stay tuned for Pirates Extra Innings coming your way next. We'll break down all the action from today's Pirates 7-2 victory. And on behalf of our entire crew, and for Hannah Mears and for John Wayner, Joe Block signing off from PNC Park, the site of another Pirates win.